In this series, lowimpact.org talks with people working to build a mutually owned, democratic, decentralised economy that builds community and doesn't destroy nature. We want to increase collaboration to bring about system change. Find links to the sites mentioned in the videos in the description below. Join the conversation by liking, commenting and subscribing to our channel.
So at lowimpact.org, we're interested in helping to bring production back to communities. And so we're going to be talking with craftspeople, smallholders, natural builders, renewables installers, and small business owners in our range of topics. And I'll be asking them about their jobs and for advice for other people who are interested in doing similar things. And today I'm talking with Tom, who is a potter. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Dave. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Could you give us your full name and the name of your business and your website?
Yeah, I'm Tom Humphries. My business is The Little Pot Company. It's thelittlepotcompany.co.uk, and I make wheel-thrown stoneware. So mainly useful everyday items.
Well, yeah, that was why I particularly liked your website. There's a lot of craftspeople, and for various reasons, they just make things that are ornamental and not useful, and you make useful household things. So I was really interested in what you do. Have you got any handy?
I have, just as it happens, I've got one of these tankards I'm drinking my tea out of. It's a pint tankard, so you need to be thirsty to use one of these, so you can put your beer in it. But yeah, that's what I make basically. It's like a speckled stoneware, and this is the bare clay on the bottom. So it's fired in a gas kiln, which brings out the speckle in the glazes.
What's the idea with making it unglazed at the bottom?
Just a bit of interest, really. I just think it looks very nice, really. No particular reason.
So yeah. I wanted to talk with you about all the things that people need to know if they're thinking of making a living from making pottery. What were you doing before Europotta?
Well, I've done quite a lot of stuff, really. I mean, I did a degree in audio technology. And
in what?
In audio technology.
Audio technology.
So yeah, learned how to design speakers and things, really. But after that, I worked as a technician in theatre, and I worked for live bands. So that was my training, really. And then I taught myself web design for a bit, and I had an e-commerce website selling musical instruments. That's been kind of relevant with selling pottery, because I learned a bit about how to get things found on the internet, and how to make product listings and do photos and things. And then I spent about 10 years working as a chef after that. And that was my last job. And I gradually turned my pottery from a hobby. And then I did 1 day a week pottery and chefing. And then at the start of the COVID lockdown last year, I went full-time pottery.
And why did you decide to do that? I mean, what made you go in that direction?
Well, it's just something I love, really. I mean, I can't think of anything else I'd want to do. And I couldn't imagine really working as a chef, as I get into my elder years, like 50s and 60s. I don't think I'd be that happy running around the kitchen, in a sweaty kitchen. Yeah. In the summertime. I just love to make pots, really, and so that's what I've done.
How did you learn how to do it?
Well, my wife was doing it as she was doing evening classes about 10 years ago, and I decided to buy her a wheel for her 30th birthday, and I just basically had a go and then got hooked, really, and then just spent a lot of time on the wheel, and I watched YouTube videos. Never really had any formal training. Just read a lot of books and websites and forums and things, and mainly just spent a lot of time on the wheel. And I was terrible to start with, and I didn't get better very quickly, but I just stuck at it really, and eventually, you know, managed to sell some things, and then just took it from there really. I mean, I'd probably say if you wanted to get into it, it's a good idea to have lessons. It certainly, but I probably got on a bit quicker if I'd have done that. But yeah.
Where can people go if they want to find pottery lessons?
Yeah, so I suppose it depends what stage you're at. If you're, you know, if you're a youngster at college and things, then there are full-time courses. Like there's a really great one I've seen. It's called Clay College in Stoke, run by some really great potters, and that's a really hands-on course you can do. I think you can do a full-time year, or you can do part-time there. But if you're working in another career, there's lots of colleges that do evening classes, or your local potter might do like evenings, or you might do workshops at the weekend. So there's quite a lot of things you could do, and there's some online courses as well for learning about glaze chemistry. Some of them are paid, but some of those are really good.
So what sort of kit do you have? I mean, what sort of kit do you need, and how much does it cost? Yeah,
it depends what style you're going to do. I mean, I do wheel thrown stuff, so I need a wheel. I mean, the wheel I bought for my wife. That was like 10 years ago, and it's still going strong. But I bought that new, so that was, I think, about £1,000 when I bought it. But you can buy them second hand. And then the first kiln I got off eBay, and that was an electric kiln. And I think that was only like a couple of £100. But I mean, kilns are like, you could spend, I saw one the other day for £12,000. I actually built the one I'm using now. I just built it myself from fire bricks, and I welded all the sides myself. So. Sorry,
you built your own kiln?
Yeah. I've got a gas kiln in the garden in the shed. So that was quite a project. It took a lot of planning, and it took a few years really thinking about it, and a few weeks to actually do it. But it's possible to do that. I mean, I wouldn't advise it if you're just starting out, really. You can buy small electric kilns that can plug into like a main socket. But if you're getting anything bigger than like a few mugs, you normally need to get an electrician to install it for you, and properly check and everything.
How big is your kiln? How many things do you fire in it in one go?
So I built mine to hold about a week's work, which is about 40 or 50 pots. So yeah, it's about 8 cubic foot inside.
8 cubic feet.
Yeah.
And when you say a pot, could that be a bowl or a plate or a mug, or you mean an item?
Yeah, just an item. So I normally have a mixture of plates and mugs and smaller egg cups and all sorts, really. But it averages about 40 or 50 a week at the moment.
And where do you get your materials?
Well, I get most of it from a place called CTM Pottery. They're based in Doncaster. They're a local place to me. I mean, the thing about materials for pottery is they're all quite heavy, like bags of clay come in 12.5 kilo bags normally. So if you're getting those delivered, you know, from a website or something, the postage is going to be a lot of money. So while I was doing it as a hobby, I'd just go to CTM, drive there and pick it all up.
Right.
And now I get, you know, a ton of clay delivered on a lorry to my house. But
all right. So if you make a living from it, you can get a ton delivered.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyone can really, but obviously it takes a while to get through a ton of clay. So uh, yeah, I think if if you're doing it as a hobby, you'd be fine just driving to your nearest place. I mean, there's not that many really pottery suppliers, but I'm just lucky really that it's half an hour down the road from me. But yeah, if you're quite far away, you'd probably need to plan ahead quite a lot, or just pay more postage really. Yeah.
My next question was whether you need any sort of specific qualifications, but obviously you don't. You were self-taught.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't, but I mean, if I knew what I knew now, and if I was like 16 or something, I would definitely consider doing an apprenticeship or doing like that clay college course, because yeah, if I had spare time to go and learn from another potter, I'd definitely do it. I think it's a great idea. I mean, I've got family and commitments that mean I can't really just go off and do that right now. Maybe I can, do a weekend or something at some point, but it depends on your situation. I think if you've got the opportunity to go and learn from other people, that'd be a great idea. I think there's a bit of a distinction between ceramic degrees and these like a clay college course, because a lot of the degree courses are more focused on like designing pottery, and they're not really very hands-on. So I think you need to bear that in mind if you were looking at the course.
Can you say that again? Which one is which?
Well, so a lot of the ceramics courses are more sort of about designing the pottery rather than actually making it, if you see what I mean. There's not many big universities that I'm aware of that run sort of hands-on courses. That's why this clay college set their one up to actually be more of a hands-on course.
And are there potters around the country looking for apprentices?
Well, I'm sure there are somewhere. I wouldn't, I don't know if there's a list of people looking for them anywhere.
Okay.
I think it's probably more of you need to approach them really, and yeah, I don't know how you'd really go about doing that. Right. I suppose it's a bit about who you know and things.
And is there any support available, maybe from an association or umbrella organisation, or are there any grants you can get from anywhere?
Well, I've actually just joined the Northern Potters Association, so there's a few different pottery associations, and they let you get a bit of a discount on your pottery supplies. I'm not sure, to be honest, about grants and things. I've never really looked into that. I imagine there may be some business, like government loans for small businesses. I'm not really sure. I was in the position where I could just do it off my own back, really. So that's what I've done.
So if you're a member of an association, you can get discounts on your supplies?
The one I'm in, yeah. I'm not sure exactly how much it is. I don't think it's massive, but yeah, it's just a bit of a bonus, really. And with all the other things that they do, organising craft fairs and things, and sharing knowledge really between each other.
Is that what it mainly is, the knowledge sharing aspect?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've only just joined, so I can't tell you too much about it, but I've been putting it off really because I've had a bit of a hard time sort of accepting myself as being a full-time potter, I suppose. I've got a bit of a don't know what the imposter syndrome thing. I don't know.
Well,
but yeah,
I've had a look at your website and your stuff looks great. I don't know why you.
Yeah. Well, I've been profitable for a year now, so I suppose I must be doing okay. Hopefully, it'll continue. So,
that was my next question. Are you making a living from it?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm not I'm not rich, but yeah, I'm paying the bills. My wife works as well. So, I mean, I suppose if people look at a mug and it's like £20 or so, they might think that, you know, that's a lot of money and I must be earning a lot. But surprising how long things take, really, because although a mug might take less than 10 minutes to throw on the wheel, actually, with all the other things, then each pot probably takes about an hour to finish. Like I say, I'm making about 40 a week, and that's doing at least 40 hours a week, probably more, you know, with all the other, you know, bits of admin and stuff. So, yeah, but I'm still, you know,
You
I'm
say,
not.
you say you're not rich, but you know, you're doing something you love full time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
got to be worth something.
yeah. I mean, I was working as a chef before, so I'm not used to being extremely well paid. So I'm happy with what I'm earning at the moment. So yeah, and I get to do something I like you say, and I get to be at home and wander around the garden on my lunch break and things. So it's quite nice.
That's not rich in money, but it's rich in something else, quality of life.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things that persuaded me to do this was having more freedom to, you know, if the kids need to go and ill or something, or I need to go and do something with them, or just having the freedom not to have to ask someone to, you know, can I have that afternoon off or things like that. It's nice to just do what I like, really. Yeah.
What's your most popular product?
Well, it varies, but the thing that really kicked off my full-time pottery was dog bowls, actually.
Dog bowl?
Yeah, it was, I think, during the first lockdown, there was a big surge in dog ownership. And I make these personalised dog bowls with the dog's name on it, basically. So I was doing a lot of those to start with, and I still do quite a lot. But yeah, the personalised stuff was not something I ever really considered until I just made a friend a dog bowl, and I got lots of interest from that. And then I started making mugs and egg cups with names on and things. So I do quite a nice, like, I call it a big tea mug. It's got a heart on it and your name. So a lot of people seem to like those. Yeah, so personalised stuff, and I sell quite a lot of cereal bowls and tableware, jugs and things.
Are there any other ways you could get an income from your pottery, sort of running courses or writing or online courses or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, I do write a blog, and that brings in, I don't think it really brings in customers so much, because it mainly attracts potters, but I think that gives my website a bit of, helps with the rankings for the other stuff in the search engines. But yeah, a lot of potters run courses, or they do like weekends. Yeah, there are lots of other ways I could probably do it, but at the moment I enjoy what I do, and I don't really have any spare time to think about much else. So yeah, just, you know, I've got a full order book and I just make that, really. So I'm pretty happy at the moment.
You've said the good things about the job. You know, your autonomy, and you get to do what you enjoy, and you get to work from home, and you're your own boss. What are some of the bad things about the job?
I'm not so keen on packing. Like, that takes quite a long time, because I do sell quite a bit online. So probably that, and just basically all the admin. Like, I don't really enjoy accounts and things, and anything not to do with the actual making, probably I'm not so keen on. Yeah, just
Go on. Yeah.
There's quite a few, things you don't imagine, like chasing up suppliers, like why your gas hasn't arrived, and yeah, things like that. But generally, I'm pretty happy. Like, I never wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, no, I don't want to go today."
This is Keith, by the way.
Hi, Keith.
He's always really interested when I'm interviewing somebody. He always wants to see who it is.
Yeah.
Do you sell things locally? Have you got any local shops that stock your stuff?
Well, I did. Unfortunately, it's like with all the COVID, a few of those are shut down. I've been wanting to do some fairs, but I'm trying to find one that would suit me really, because a lot of them are like 3-day big events, and I don't think I can't see me being able to get enough stock to do something like that. So I'd like to do some shows and actually meet people and sell more locally. But yeah, like I say, a lot of the stuff I do is personalised. So in a way that it doesn't really suit, selling at a show or something.
Yeah.
So.
What are the main things that if somebody decided that they wanted to give it a go, what do you think are the main things they need to know? What sort of friendly advice would you give to people?
If you mean if you were going to do it as a living?
Yeah, if you were thinking of going down that route.
Well, I think probably firstly you need to make pots that people want to buy. I suppose it sounds obvious, but you could make something really beautiful, like a huge vase. It takes you 3 days to make, but you might not sell many of them. So I think you need to be like realistic about what you're going to be able to sell. I think I've just got a bit lucky, really. I've probably just got to try a lot of different stuff, and something will stick eventually. Like most potters have like a thing, like I don't know, like they might put ducks on everything or something, or they tend to find something that sort of clicks with people eventually. So I don't know how you just jump into that. You just got to try a lot of stuff really, and then find something that people want to buy. Yeah. And then I suppose you've got to make sure you present it well. Like if you're selling online, you need to work on your photography and copywriting for your descriptions and things, and find out how to get things found on search engines. Because, well, for me anyway, I don't use any advertising, so all my sales are organic really. So I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but just finding the best way to present your work, whether it's online or if you're doing shows, making sure you have a good stand or making sure you're going to stand out. And then just really like knowing the business side a bit, because like I said, I can make a mug on the wheel in 10 minutes, but it takes a lot longer to finish it. And when I started out, I'd get a bit carried away and go, 10 minutes to make a mug, so I can make like 500 in a week. But it doesn't really work like that. So just having a bit of knowledge about, profit and loss, and actually doing some tests to make sure if you make 10 things on the wheel, but 3 of them end up, falling over, then maybe you're not going to make money. Or if you decorate a mug and spend 2 hours decorating it, how much are you going to have to charge realistically? Things like that.
So I just wanted to chat to you about what you think about the future of pottery and other crafts. I mean, we're very interested in helping to bring production back to communities, including craft production. You know, Amazon and others are wiping out small businesses and sole traders. Future jobs are looking more like, you know, Amazon warehouse or Uber drivers, not very fulfilling, whereas your job is very fulfilling. And what do you think is the future for craft skills?
Well, I mean, we've had mass-produced, you know, household items for a long time now, and people are still buying handmade. So I think there'll always be a market for them. As for like Amazon and things, I mean, it's a tough one because I don't think it'll ever stop people buying things that are cheap. But I think it's more probably going to have to be the government actually, you know, getting them to pay taxes, and if they're, you know, getting someone to do work for them, delivering stuff every day, then they need to be like classed as an employee rather than, you know, 0 hours contracts and things.
I guess,
But yeah,
I guess one of the, well, you talked about, yeah, people are going to buy things that are cheap, and I guess that's the issue, isn't it? It's the price of craft goods that they're very expensive. But I think you know, it's if you have suspiciously cheap stuff, not just mugs, but also, you know, t-shirts, anything at all. I mean, somebody's being exploited somewhere. Somebody's being worked for very little money, and you know, if we move to sort of craft produce, I mean, if people are getting a good price for their produce, then maybe they'd be prepared to pay a good price for somebody else's craft skills. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd ever try and convince, you know, someone who's struggling to feed their family that they really need to buy handmade pottery. But at the same time, well, a lot of my stuff, you know, 20, 30 pounds is sort of like the gift item that, you know, most people would find affordable probably for, you know, Christmas or birthday present, rather than, you know, I don't know, some new aftershave or something. So, yeah, I think there is a future, but
You think it's going to be marginal?
yeah, I think it will always be marginal. I mean, it's something nice to have. I mean, a lot of people who buy my things say, you know, it's my favourite mug, and I use it every day. And if that person, you know, has that mug for the next 10 years and uses it every day, and doesn't buy a new mug off Amazon every year, then I think that's a good thing. And same as if they were to buy, you know, really lovely handmade shoes or something else. That's the way I think, you know, we should try and progress, but not everyone's going to think that way, which is fair enough. But,
No, of course not. But I'm just thinking that if we could bring production back to communities, yeah, things would be more expensive. But if the people in the communities are producers as well as just consumers, then they wouldn't just be paying a good price; they'd be receiving a good price, and you know, it would be on an upward spiral. You know, people's working conditions would be better. Things would be locally produced, more environmentally friendly. We get high quality goods. Profits would stay in the community, and small producers pay tax. It would be an upward spiral instead of the downward spiral that we seem to be on.
yeah, no, it's a good idea.
I mean, it's not just craft produce, but also, you know, locally produced organic food is the same. It's expensive. Natural buildings, renewable energy, etc. It's all going to be that little bit more expensive. But I don't know. I guess time will tell. But I just see it as a way to get on an upward spiral rather than a downward spiral, where people are receiving a good income for their produce, and they'd be prepared to pay that for other people with other people. Yeah, I think, and also there's the thing about scale. I think possibly people, you wouldn't want every house to have its own kiln to produce pottery. You wouldn't want to produce your own. But I think that every community could support a potter, or a basket maker, or a blacksmith, or, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be a good way to live, I'm sure. I think one of the things is that people need to keep learning these skills because, you know, like blacksmithing, I don't know how many blacksmiths I've seen recently, but yeah, there's like a list of endangered crafts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that website.
The Heritage Crafts Association.
Yeah. I mean, pottery is actually like pretty, you know, endangered. I don't know what the word is, but there's a lot of things on there that are going to die out. There's only like 2 people left in the country doing it, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Pottery's never going to be on that list, though, is it? Because people are always going to want plates and mugs and bowls and.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but I'm sure there's some types of pottery that's died out. Some, you know, more rare production methods. But yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is to keeping these things going apart from the demand there. And I suppose it's how you let people know that there are these things out there. I'm not sure how we do that. At the minute, what gets people's attention is the advertising on their social media, and that's going to be, you know, whoever can provide the cheapest stuff, I suppose. So there's not going to be a blacksmith doing Facebook ads. Well, there might be. I don't know, but I've not seen any. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be talking to lots of craftspeople and small producers to try to get their opinion on this because, yeah, the way we're going, you know, people's incomes are going down, and so they can only afford cheap things, and those cheap things would involve exploitation of people and transporting things from the other side of the world, and, you know, not much concern for environmental issues. So
I suppose it's really about reducing the gap between the rich and poor, but
yeah,
that's probably like a whole other topic we'll probably not get on.
Yeah. Well, all right, Tom. It's been really nice talking with you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for doing it. I was going to say, if anyone of your viewers would like any pottery from me, I can do a discount of 15% for the next 6 months if you use the code low impact on my website.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Just a little sweetener for if anyone wants to.
Yeah. I'll say your stuff is really beautiful.
Thank you. Well, yeah, hopefully it will continue and go straight to spring.
I'll put you in our directory and I'll send you a standard email to explain how to edit your profile.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
All right then, Tom. Lovely speaking with you.
You too. Thanks. Cheers then.
Bye. Don't go away though, Tom.